Hey,
Okay, Togo, thanks for that introduction. And as Togo said, I'm GhostSenpai, also known as Unfantasmamas, and I'm gonna run Donald Duck Goin Quackers, and the category is any percent PS1. I'm gonna explain that on a bit, so I'm just gonna wait until it loads, and I'm gonna be ready. We're gonna go through the regular timing of the game, and it's gonna be uh, when I get the control of Donald, so can keep waiting for a bit. First, let me do something really that I forgot to do. We're gonna be ready. Start. Okay. So, we're just gonna wait a little bit before I start the timer. So be ready. I'm gonna make a countdown from three. So, three, two, one, and go. Well, and before I'll start to explain this, welcome to everybody to this 10 Starkers Play Live 2019 on the third and last day of the marathon. And well, this is Alan Dog Goin Quackers. This is a game that was developed by Ubisoft and Disney Interactive back in 2000. And this game got different releases and versions. Talking about just the home console versions, this game got three different versions. And version 1 is Nintendo 64, Sega Dreamcast and PC. Version 2 is the PlayStation. And version 3 is a PlayStation 2 and GameCube release that was released in 2002. So we are focused on the version 1, which is PlayStation. This is mostly the reason why on this category is the platform where the game is being played, its name. For example, in this case, for this any percent, for the PlayStation version, it's called any percent PS1. So the objective of this category is just keep going straight and collect all the energy orbs that we need to rescue Daisy. And I will reach the final boss of this here. So the plot of this game is that Daisy was working as a TV broadcaster, and then in some way she managed to get into the Evil Wizard Marlock pet, so she was doing a live broadcast about the new evil plans from Evil Wizard Marlock, but Marlock notices her and kidnaps her. So Donald was watching with another dogs the live broadcast, and then he decided to rescue Daisy, and for that he's gonna use the Gyro's traveling machine in order to rescue her, but the machine doesn't have enough energy, and for that we need to get enough energy to reach Murloc, we need to get these energy orbs that we're gonna be trying to collect in each stage. Some of them are not so complicated to get, but some of them are also tricky. We're gonna see that in a bit. Well, and on a later stage, because it's supposed that you will notice most of the things if you go through the 112% route, which is the fully completion of the game, and for the 112%, because in the other version it's the 100% the full completion of the game, and 112% you need to collect the orbs and also get all the toys from Donald's nephews, and then you can unlock a kind of auto-scroller stage, which is just a chasing stage, and after you beat the stage you get an unlockable costume, so with that you get the 112%. And we're not gonna watch in this category, but there's an incentive for this game in order to showcase that stages once I finish this run, and also to showcase the costumes. I mentioned this because, as I've said before, in order to find some orbs, sometimes you will need to go for the toys because Merlock put a curse into the Donald Nephew's toys, and Donald needs to, and well, the toys went invisible, so Donald needs to make them visible again. And the way that we do that is just to hit the books, then an in-game timer is gonna appear at the game, and we need to collect the toy before the time runs out. Otherwise, the toy is gonna get invisible again, and we need to go back, and then we need to hit the toy again, the book again. For example, if I do this, the toy that's later on the run, it's gonna be visible, and I need to collect it. But since I don't need them for this category, I'm not gonna go for them. It's gonna be a little possibility that accidentally I will catch some of them, because some of them are kinda complicated to avoid, since you need to go through a linear route, and sometimes trying to jump over them or just skip them, it's hard. Not impossible, but it's hard. But anyways, it's not gonna quit me so much time, because every time that I catch one of the 3 toys that it's on each stage, in total are 12 toys in each warp room. Every time that I catch a toy, Donald's gonna start to dance, and on the 3rd toy, he's gonna dance 3 times. And now we got something that I like to call extended loading screens, which is a big issue with this game when it's playing on a console. So what does this consist? It's that when you're playing on a PlayStation 2 using the fastest speed mode in order to save some time with loading times with PS1 games, for some reason the game will like to extend that loading screens. That doesn't happen if you play the game on standard speed or on a PS1 or even on an emulator. That just happens on some PS2s with the fastest speed mode enabled. And for now, I'm the only console runner of the game. Recently, another guy was doing some testing in his console. For example, my console is a 90K PS2, which is considered as the best model for most of the PS1 games, and the other guy's console is a 77K, if I remember correctly. And in both consoles, we got the extended loading screens. This happens randomly. There's not a pattern in order to see where we're gonna get them. And that's what makes this game playing on console can be kinda inaccurate, talking about loading times. At the same time, some people has considered about doing the timing of this game loadless, but it will be worthless, since in emulator this game has more advantage, since literally there's no lag, and there are gonna be some laggy sections on the game when it's played on console, comparing this with emulator. But besides of that fact, it's still being faster to play this game with FDS enabled and having extended loading screens, comparing this with just having the game with the standard loading times. And if I receive damage, well, it's time to introduce the moods. If I receive damage, what's gonna happen is that obviously I'm gonna have a little invisibility. Okay, my mistake. I'm gonna have a little invincibility window, and then I'm gonna be into the Mad Dog pace. Okay, nice cycle. And what is gonna happen is that if Donald is mad and he receives damage again, we're gonna lose a life, like we have seen. But we can try to fix that in some way with the milkshakes that we get during the game. That it's talking in concept, it should be similar to the stars in Super Mario games. So if we are on the regular mood, Donald's gonna enter into invincibility mode with the milkshake. If he's mad and he catches the milkshake, he's gonna be back into a regular mood. But if I receive damage, and during the invincibility frames that I have between the change of Donald's mood, and I catch a milkshake, the milkshake is gonna disappear. So if that happens, I'm gonna wait until I am into the full rage, into the full Donald angry mood, and then I'm gonna try to catch the milkshake. Hopefully that's not gonna happen. So basically that's most of the things that I can explain about some of the little issues that this game has, and also the history of the game. Because another problem that this game has is that even when the game looks so simple and easier, the physics of the game are kinda trolled sometimes, are not so accurate, because some jumps can be tricky if we're trying to go fast. So in some moments I'm gonna be trying to play as safe as I can, or obviously for marathon purposes. See, also thanks to that issue with the physics, I will be using this red box that gives you us stars. Just jump over them and use them as platforms, and I'm gonna be doing that with a couple of enemies also. Because I've said before, the game that the hitbox on this game work is kinda weird. We're gonna notice that even more on the second quarter. And talking about gaming concept in general, this is mostly like a 3D platforming game from the era. We can consider this as a kind of a childish Crash Bandicoot game, both because it shares a lot of things, comparing this with Crash Bandicoot Warped. So I'm gonna explain this after this boss fight. This is Bernard Speak, the first boss of the game, and this is an easy boss. You know, she's gonna be throwing some eggs, and the first page she's gonna, well, two chickens are gonna appear, and what I'm gonna do here is try to make that she keeps in a specific spot. So what happened here is that after she stomped the floor for the first time, she's gonna try to chase us, and obviously she's gonna try to stomp us again. She's gonna do that 4 times in a row. But if we keep her in a specific spot, mostly so close to one of her feet, she's gonna stay on the same spot, and with this we can save back a good amount of time. Because instead of that, suppose that we should keep walking, trying to avoid her. But if we do this, we can get a good amount of time. And depending on the pace, the amount of chickens that appears, and also, well, the chickens with heads just appear on the last 2 paces. And when I hit her for the 3rd time, we're done. This was the first boss fight. Well, talking about the N64 release, recently we have added a rule for the game. That is that you can make a dummy save file, and each time that you want to start the run, you can load that dummy save file. And with that, you can save 1,017 seconds from that unskippable cutscene from the N64 release. I'm not an N64 runner, anyways. But some people was asking for that, and after some discussion with another mods of the game, we decided to add that as a rule. And besides that fact, N64 version is different, comparing this with the PS1 release. So now that we finished with the forest, it's time to move to the city. And as we have seen before, this is a kind of mixing between 2D and 3D platforming, depending on the stage. In some stages are gonna be some side-scrolling, some perspectives, and then in other times we're gonna have the mix between 2D and 3D gameplay and all that kind of things. There's a really cool feature about this game, that it has this kind of good mixing of platforming games. And basically that's everything about the game, about gameplay and all kind of things. Except that I have received damage. It's not supposed that I should have received them, but on these stages it's kinda complicated to keep moving if we are on the Mad Dog pace. You will try to keep as safely as you can, mostly because there are these enemies, mostly with that dogs, sometimes doesn't understand how the physics of these games work, so they can be really true. Like this last dog, which is the most annoying of all of this stage. And on this next stage, nice, I got another extended long screen. On this next stage, we're gonna have again, well, we're gonna have our first problematic orb. which for the people who is starting to run this game, most in this category, this is regular orb that they're gonna start to forget. It's not so well hide, but and at the section of the stage where this orb is located, we can get trolled easily by the same stage. Just to don't put attention to the position of the orb. We're gonna see that on a bit. And just in case that somebody was wondering, no, we can't. Unfortunately, we cannot quit that HUD from this game. Also, even if I have the milkshake on the invincibility base, I will try to avoid everything as much as I can because this is not in like other video games where you can notice at which moment does the invincibility moment is gonna finish. Because here we don't have any kind of changes with the music or things like that. And here's where the problematic orb is located, because usually you get you will try to get that life, and you are not gonna pay attention to the left of the screen where does the orb is lying behind that door that we need to destroy with some of the TNTs that are spawning from there. Yeah, because as I have said, starting the run, version 1 it's for the N64, PC and Dreamcast versions. The games are basically the same. The only difference are the graphics, and that the Nintendo 64 version doesn't have the pre-rendered videos. Because I mean the pre-rendered videos are included into the PS1 version. Same videos that the Dreamcast and PC release has. And now we are at Dewey's Roof Troops. A problem that this stage has is that, getting back to the topic about the awful hitbox of the game, if we mix that with the awful physics also that the game has, the awful physics and the awful hitboxes, plus the fact that there's a lot of obstacles, this can make kind of tricky. This can make our movements get kind of tricky. Mostly for the fact that sometimes you will sorry, I'm kind of sleepy, so I'm not putting so much attention to what am I saying. What I was trying to say is that it's supposed that on this stage you need to wait for a bit before you start to move. But since this is a speedrun, we need to move as fast as we can. So this turns even more complicated, the fact of beating this stage. And also with the rest of the versions, version 2 is the PS1 version, and version 3 is the PS2 and GameCube release. I used to have a lot of problems with that box, mostly because this is the end of the stage. And I'm really glad that I haven't died, so I can consider that as a good progress. So European High Crisis, the last stage of this warp room, and then we're gonna be able to go to the boss fight. And as we have seen in this warp room and on the previous one, there's another stage that is covered by one of the Donald nephews. After you get all the 12 toys from each warp room, you need to talk with them. They're gonna say thanks. They are gonna thanks you because you make their toys visible again, and after they move, you can play that on the auto-scroller stage. that's gonna give to you an unlockable costume. And sometimes that you can forget that that toy is there when you have activated the book, so can't start to dance. Maybe I'm gonna catch a toy accidentally on the next warp room on a specific stage, and I'm not gonna say that stage because honestly I don't remember it right now. But it's not a big deal if I catch one of the toys. The problem is gonna be if I catch all 3 toys because the last dance is more longest. I'm gonna wait here. Cycle. Okay, I received damage and I wasn't trying to do that. Okay, we're reaching the end of the stage, so I need to be fully focused in order to don't fail. Oh yeah, I was aware of that, and that's really awful because that was the end of the stage. This skipping is good. It's fine, it's fine. Not good, but it's fine. Okay. And definitely I wasn't expecting to have that kind of death. Well, I was in some way, because there was a section that I preferred to wait. What happened there is that the cycle, if you decide to wait, the cycles are gonna change, and sometimes trying to keep going in the game as fast as you can is gonna be kinda tricky and or impossible due to that fact. It's weird how this game works in general. Now, Beagle's Boy's Tower, second boss of the game, and this boss fight, what is gonna happen is that Beagle Boy is gonna be throwing a wrecking ball at the roof of a building, and obviously we need to avoid it. And after he throws the wrecking ball, the machine is gonna get stuck, so when he is gonna try to repair it, we can use that opportunity to hit him. 2 times, machine gets stuck, 1, 2, I kick him, and now he's gonna start to throw 2 awesome bombs. The most easiest way to avoid this is just to keep moving left and right and timing your jumps. You can keep walking and you don't receive damage, but I don't recommend that a lot because it's tricky to avoid the bombs when they are thrown. Below the second phase, some parts of the roof are gonna fall down. And yes, another 2 sections of the roof are gonna fall down in the next phase. We're gonna have like here the shape of a D-pad from a PS1 controller, and with that we can use that as a reference about where else we need to keep or something like that. It's really cool. It's really good this because the pattern is the same all the time in this boss fight. So this shouldn't be complicated to put. And there we go. Second boss fight, and up to this point we had made half of the run. Now we're gonna move to the third warp room of the game, which is a haunted mansion, and we're gonna start with a complicated stage. Yes, mostly speedrunning talking. Actually, it can be also a problem, but If you don't die in these stages, you can consider that as a good progress. Because again, awful physics and awful hitboxes are gonna attack again. So what do you want here is to don't get hit or something like that. Let's see if I don't get trouble with this. And also these big guys requires to jump over them to defeat them. And also I'm gonna use them as platforms in some sections. And something curious is that even with the milkshake, we can damage that big guys with just one hit. They keep requiring 2 jumps. And also, if you're wondering what happened if you don't get the orb, simply you're not gonna get the energy for the boss fight. And you don't see animation where this Donald is releasing the orb. So that's a good signal that you forget it. Again, we're gonna have another complicated ones over here on this game, but as I've said before, it's just well, you just need to have a good memory to remember where the sort of orbs are. It's not complicated, but mostly you need to focus on the ones that are correctly hidden. And here in console we have lag. This doesn't happen on later. And this is the second problematic orb that we're gonna see here at the end of the stage. And it's problematic because usually you will forget that you need to go for the orb because you haven't seen it on the rest of the stage. And what is gonna happen here is that as we have seen, next to the orb there was a toy, the third and last toy of the stage. So it's supposed that you are going for the toys, and when you are going for the third toy, you're gonna find the orb there. So it's normal that on this category, on your first rounds, you maybe forget this orb. Entering to Eerie Ollie. Also, something that I need to mention about this game is that comparing this with another video games, an interesting thing, well, 2 interesting things about this game is that after checkpoint the music changes, but that's barely notable when you are running the game. But when you play it casually, you can notice that easily. And the second fact is that even on the last stage we're gonna see new enemies, so this is something really cool about this game because this never stops surprising you, because there are gonna be a lot of new things on each stage. And it's pretty cool, because usually in other video games after a certain point you have seen everything, but this doesn't happen with this title. And again, some enemies has weird hitboxes. This orb is not complicated to find, but sometimes if you don't pay attention, you are gonna forget that it's next to the checkpoint. And also, it can be good if, for example, you catch a checkpoint and you forgot the orb, and you say, "Oh damn, I forgot the orb," so you just make that abuse, and everything is gonna be fine. this creepy corridor, third stage of this warp room, and again, here we're gonna have mostly a 2D platform side-scrolling action, mix it with weird positions for enemies and obstacles. Also, something really good about the game is that, for example, if I slightly fall down to a hole and I react at the correct moment, I can press the jumping button and I can make the mid-air jump, like if I were doing a double jump, and with that I can save a life. Now that happened on the second stage of the last warp room, and hopefully I really hope that it can happen also next stage, just in case that I made a big mistake, hoping that it doesn't happen. Okay, little mistake, but it's fine, because I died close to a checkpoint, but this is gonna change the course of my cycles. Because something really bad about this game is that if you die, the cycles keep going, they never get reset. And most of the cycles get activated when you are close to the enemies and platforms, all that kind of things. So also you need to have a good timing with your movement. Maybe a third problematic orb, again, you need to catch this toy and you will see that the orb is there. And this last section also is kinda tricky, so I would try to keep as safe as I can. Because also another really bad thing about this game is that in another ones, talking about checkpoints, they are so close, so usually you don't waste a huge amount of time, but it's not the case with this game. There's a big distance between each checkpoint, making that sometimes you just die. Well, when you die and you haven't reached the next checkpoint, you're gonna waste a huge amount of time trying to go back and to do that again, just to do that again. For curious people, my PV is 51 flat. And as I said before, I'm the only console runner of this game. GhostSenpai, considered as many of the few runners that this version has, as the most complicated stage in general. Because here, there is a ridiculous amount of obstacles. And most of the enemies were not put on the correct position, making that beating this stage with a die turns into a big challenge. This is not a big challenge for me, but with that I'm not saying that probably I'm not gonna die or something like that. Everything can happen. It's mostly due to the human factor, because this is a real-time run. This is not a pre-recorded run or something like that, so everything can happen. But well, this section, I hope that it was kinda helpful just to understand how does everything is were put in this stage. Okay, I forgot that I needed to do a double jump there. So here I need to be so careful. I don't know what I've jumped there. I forgot that used to happen. Oh well, I have died. As I've said before. No, that's not gonna happen. I'm aware that I have hit that enemy, so I think I'm just gonna wait. And I'm gonna try to play a little safely, just so don't keep wasting more time. Come on! I really hate this section, honestly. Some people can consider this as a parametric door, but I don't think that, because even when you're close to that section, you can notice it easily. And that was a very big distance between each checkpoint. And I received damage again. Okay, there's some milkshake. Hello, so close. But it's tricky to catch it. Anyways, that was this is the end of the stage. Mainly for that goal, you should try to get the milkshake, but it's still been good. So, by default, the worst boss fight from all the game, which is Magica. The reason of this is because it's kinda complicated sometimes to avoid her attacks. Again, bad and weird hitboxes. So in concept it's kinda similar to what happens against Bernadette. Some little enemies that we need to defeat. Okay, I received damage, that's not good. And after we defeat all the enemies, she's gonna throw this fireball that is gonna turn into some kind of attacking fireballs. On this space she's just gonna do that twice and then we're done. Now it's time to locate her enemies. Okay, so also she's gonna be throwing that fireballs. But the only good thing that I can say about this boss fight is that she throws a milkshake after we defeat her on the second page. This should have been better if I shouldn't have received damage, because I can use that to save a little amount of time at this pace. Now we have 4 of these guys. And also I need to do a very good timing with my jumps, otherwise I'm gonna receive damage. So this is 2 and 3, and this is the last one. There we go. Now it's time to access to the last, the very last section of the game, the last warp room, where we are gonna be more close to reach Marlock. I said return to the lab. That's the first time that it has happened to me. Looks like I have moved the analog stick wrongly. These eyes are annoying, but the most annoying enemy is this one with this mask. Okay, I was safe for that, thanks to that jump. The reason why that enemies with the mask are annoying are the worst of this last problem is because the hitbox that they have is already kind of weird, so what I need to do is to hit them on a specific position. And with specific, I wanna refer to the top left of their mask, because for some reason that's the only way where you can hit them. And thanks to that enemies, you will be pleased if you, well, if you are not on the mad dog pace like that. I really hate that enemies in general from all the game. Okay, that's just good because I'm gonna need them to check here. Okay, I'm gonna make a database here because I will try to keep as safe as I can. Because at the end of the stage we're gonna have the laser barrier and an enemy with the mask. So if we are not on the regular mood, this is gonna be complicated to get on the first attempt. Sometimes you can get it, sometimes don't. But it's better to keep safe there. I really haven't liked that but what else can I do? I feel sleepy, sorry. And again, throwing ice. This section also is better with the milkshake. It's not complicated to complete this if you're not on the visibility phase. So it's not bad at all. I tried to avoid that enemy. Or lies here. And nice! Nice. Oh god. This is the kind of thing that really annoys me on this game. This is part of the speedrunning. Which should be the point of speedrunning if games were easy. And you shouldn't deal with a lot of things like this. Tricky section. Oh my god. Please wake up. the Nifty is murky way, and well, personally, I like to call this as the last choke because, from a personal point of view, this is the last complicated section of the game, the last complicated stage. Because again, we have a lot of obstacles, enemies. Kids, don't try that at home, believe me, it's not easy as it looked. And, well, these fireballs are kinda skippable, but you have to be so careful. Something really good about going faster is that you can move there and you can just escape the cycle of the fireballs. And this is a complicated orb due to this bridge. Only for that. It's so common that you can fail that. I don't know what happened went down there, but it's good. Well, not good, but anyways. Yes, I'm gonna focus into finish this stage because it was a really dumb death. And the good thing is that if you get an orb, you don't need to get worried about not catching it. Well, about catching it again. And again, I don't know why does that happen. And also, if you die a lot of times, this happens. Donald gets mad, throws his head, and then you're able to control him again. Excuse me. Okay, it was safe there. There we go, finally. Definitely this wasn't my best stage here, but whatever. And now Asian Fate, last regular stage. Okay. And sometimes that's another thing about the weird hitboxes of the game. That sometimes this thing is not gonna recognize when we reach the platform in order to leave this, well, the warping platform, just to leave the stage. This stage is not so complicated comparing it with the rest of the stages of this warp room. Usually the problematic one was the last stage. That doesn't mean that it's gonna be easy. Basically, what do you require a lot on this game, besides the fact that you need patience, you need to have a good memory to remember where some obstacles are and some enemies are located. Mostly because you have sometimes little to no time to react and you can receive damage if you are not really quick with your movements. Four place here. We use the bug and this enemy as little platforms. And here we're gonna have a trolling fireball. Usually you will forget this huge amount of time. And I say that because that happened to me. And also in that section you shouldn't do a big jump, because that spikes can damage you also. And also remember the fact that I have said that the music changes after some checkpoints. Well, we're gonna see in a bit probably the most weird. Okay, I missed that jump. The most weirdest music change. Like in this case, the song changed, but the pattern of the music is not. It's different. It's because now we're having the warp room music for a reason that I don't understand why, but we got it. And now it's time to go to the ceremonial room. Yeah, there's a lot of, well, there are just some few runs today, but there are long games, and definitely you will like to watch Final Fantasy VII if you keep on watching some action from the 5th generation of consoles. It's gonna be the PC port, but it keeps it in the same game anyways. So, okay, this is the final boss fight against Marlock. And what I need to hear is that some fireballs are gonna appear, and after the fireball disappears, the shield of Marlock is gonna disappear and I can hit him. The time is gonna finish when I hit him for the 3rd time. And remember guys, drink water. Here we're gonna have 2 paces of this thing of fireballs. So we need to wait for another one. And time's gonna come so soon, and time!
Hey, what's going on with my machine?
And there we go, we defeated Marlock, and now we're rescue Daisy, and we're gonna watch the very last cutscene of the game. 50-11. Okay, I was timing this, and with the rules, this was at 50-16. Starting when I get the control tunnel and when I make the last hit to Marlock. This kinda sucks because probably could have made a PB, because as that is on my PB is a 51 flat, and I shipped that PB on a marathon, so I got some chances to get marathon PB again. But some mistakes were made. But besides the fact of that mistakes, the run went pretty well, because with that mistakes, definitely can be a very good showcase about how awful does the physics can be sometimes in this game, speedrunning talking. And as I've said before, this game got a donation incentive, so I'm gonna wait until the staff tell me if the incentive was met.
I'll say it like this. Let's do the incentive.
So what happened with the incentive? We met it? Hello? Okay, looks like somebody's microphone is dead. But please, put attention to this, because this was the machine that the evil Wizard Merlin was making, and this was his evil plan.
Yes, sorry, yes, it did. It did move it.
So all the time, the evil plan for Merlock was to develop a machine that can make popcorn with chocolate. And well, this is the end of the game. This was Donald Goin Quackers, any percent PS1. And since the incentive was met, I'm gonna reset. After the cutscene finishes, I'm gonna reset the console because it's gonna be more fast instead of waiting until the credit rolls just to go for this incentive. And yes, this is Donald Goin Quackers. So I'm gonna reset the console. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna load a 112% save file because the point of the incentive was to showcase the unlockable stages that this game has. Just gonna wait until this thing loads again. Besides of the fact of the little issues that I got here, I really like this run. Cannot complain about this. Hey, what's happening? It's taking more time than the usual to load the game. I don't like the sounds that my console is doing, so I think I'm just... Okay, it loaded. I was gonna turn off the console. Thanks for the GG's, by the way. So it's time to move to the incentive. So again, I think that with time, we're gonna start it once I get the control panel, and we're gonna finish it when I reach the last warping platform on the last stage. So I'm gonna load a complete save file, and where I'm gonna be able to access to the unlockable stages that it's supposed that you're gonna get if you collect all toys. Really, should have made that during all the run, honestly, but I haven't done that. It's better because I want to showcase it. Okay, start the timer right now. I forget the time. So each time when you be at one of these unlockable stages, you unlock a special costume, depending of the world also. So, in the first world you unlock this tourist outfit, and also some. I'm gonna go back into the regular Donald costume because I forgot something really important, and that is that if you don't move Donald for a bit, we're gonna see a little animation. In this case, if we are on the regular Donald costume, he's gonna start to feel sleepy and he's gonna start to think I'm Daisy. Basically that happens. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna grab the tourist costume. And yes, the machine takes a huge amount of time just to make the changes. And with the tourist costume this happens. If you don't control Donald a bit, he's gonna start to take some photos. It's time to go to the first unlockable stage. You get these customs again, I need to say it, when you beat these stages. They're not some complicated, but can be tricky. These stages I consider them mostly as auto-scrollers, but they're more like... well, they're basically auto-scrollers, but this is mostly also like a chasing stage. So in this first stage where you need to escape from this big bird. And again, this stage is not complicated, but due to the camera angle, sometimes can be complicated to know which elements are we're gonna find later on the stage. I hit that signal, it's not required, but that can distract the bear for a bit, and I can gain a little advantage. I don't wanna die, but I have died. I jumped kinda early. So I hope that I don't make this same mistake again. Also, just in case that somebody hasn't noticed that, the yellow stars just kind of single stars, the blue stars gives to us 5 stars, and the red stars gives to us 10. And for some reason that bird trap just works with Donald, not with the bird. So instead of a bird trap, it's mostly like a dog trap. No! Okay. I wasn't expecting that. It's not supposed that that should have happened. Also, another fact about 112% is that speedrunning talking is not so an interesting category because also the fact that you collect the orbs and the toys, and when you get the orb, if you re-enter to the stage, you're gonna see a clock, and what does that clock mean is that you're gonna start into a time trial mode. And something bad about that time trial mode is that in other games like Crash Bandicoot, if you die on a time trial, you need to start over again. But in this case, it doesn't happen. You have the checkpoints. But if you die and you respawn at the checkpoint, the timer just freezes while you're respawning, and when you spawn, the time keeps going. So this was the first unlockable stage. Okay, looks like we haven't started the timer, but it's fine. I don't think it was gonna be worthless to time this. Anyways, I'm timing it just in case. So, second costume. I don't remember exactly if the order that we get the costumes, but I'm really sure that the first costume that we unlock is the tourist one. So now we have the Dandy's costume. And probably my favorite costume from all the game. Well, I love all costumes, I should say that, but this is one of my favorites. There's animation, and it's time to go through the unlockable stage of the second warp room. And also something I forgot to mention is that on these warping platforms, and these warping pads, I need to put at the center of it. I need to try to get as close as I can. Otherwise, what the game is gonna make is that it's not gonna recognize that I am on the platform, so when I press the cross button to enter, it's gonna make it jump in. Obviously, I'm gonna lose a lot more time, and this is a really awful extended loading screen. Usually, that are the worst extended loading screens that you can get. Here, starting this stage, we have this chickman that looks like Chip from Chip 'n Dale. And every time we hit him, we are getting different items from stars, music, and his life. That also is not so required because even if you die easily in this game, you gain a lot of extra lives. The extra lives are so free in this game. So unless speedrunning talking, that's something good if you're having problems with some obstacles and some enemies. And now we're gonna be chased by this big truck that for some reason looks like if the truck is mad with us. And here, if Donald receives damage, his face is not gonna change, but still being on the mad dog pace. And also, if I see that trash can again, I'm gonna try to avoid it because for some reason we cannot make damage to the trash can. So it's better just to avoid it. And I activate that switches so we can block the way from the truck for a bit. And again, I use damage, cool. But there was a free music here. I'm just gonna wait. And there we go. Second stage. That was one of the regular faster loading times that you can get. So third costume, which is a kind of adventurous costume that can remind to us Indiana Jones. This is the animation that this makes. It's the same as the Dandy's ones, not a big difference. And now underhanded, probably from the three. Well, not probably. We can say that here and each unlockable stage, depending on the war room, is how hard the city is. This is complicated due to the obstacles, but really the hardest one is gonna be the last unlockable stage. Mostly because between platforms there's a really huge distance, and sometimes you can make an incorrect move, and then when you realize you're gonna be dead. Okay. If we get chased by any of these enemies that are chasing us, I'm just gonna die on the way that I'm gonna be thrown to the screen. Nice. Nice physics of the game, not gonna lie. Sometimes it's better to wait, but you don't need to wait so much time. I got an extra life just for memes. Tricky jump. Okay, so we're reaching the end of this stage, and there we go, that was the end. So next stage I'm gonna keep quiet, because I'm just gonna try to focus. So if the host has something to say, that's gonna be a good moment for it. For now, we're gonna go for the last custom that we get on the game when we beat the auto-scroller last, and the last, excuse me, on the last warp room. This is just a pajama set. And what does this make is that we're gonna see Donald more sleepy. We can say that the context of the situation is that I feel like Donald at this moment. So hey Ali, and this is a problematic stage, mostly because you need to react so quickly here. It's gonna take a huge amount of time to somebody to eliminate this the first time. Even I cannot do that. So if I don't die so much, I can consider that as a progress. But if I don't die, that's gonna be something really amazing. Something I really doubt, but I'm gonna have some fate on me. That's a trolling eye. First checkpoint. Well, I'm gonna die here on purpose, because I wanna show what happens when you get chased by one of these guys. I consider that it was worth to showcase. Well, because I was close to checkpoint. I never see damage again. Tricky jumps, tricky platforms. Okay, saved again with the awful physics. Okay, got stuck. Lol. It's fine that I have that, it's fine. And we got another Matt Donald. And I haven't got stuck here, that's good, and time! 16-16 comparing this with my timing, but well. This was not Goin Quackers, but any percent PS1 and the showcase of the customs and unlockable stages. I really want to say thank you to all the people who has donated for the marathon, and also for the people who donated for this incentive, because honestly I wasn't considering that this was gonna be met, so I'm really impressed. And also thanks for the staff for considering me to run this game, because this was the last time inclusion due to some drops, but at the same time I'm happy with the times that I've got here. So with this I'm gonna say that I'm done with this marathon, but the fun doesn't finish here, because we're gonna keep going with some Disney action, but now with Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix and Person Beginner by Wyatt. I hope that I have said correctly the name, Wyatt Wait or something like that. Cool. Anyways, thanks for watching, keep donating, keep enjoying the marathon, and see you guys. Peace.
Alright, thank you very much there, GhostSenpai. I am Toko Tomcat here at Open World Gaming in Greenville, South Carolina. did want to let you all know there is going to be some slight schedule changes. Unfortunately, Wyatt did have to call out of the marathon, but these things happen. So we are definitely trying our best to fill in the gaps as we go along. But we do have a run coming up next up, which is going to be Linka Meister with some Hello Kitty. So that's going to be a great run. Also, we're going to have Morpha come back with some Resident Evil 2 action with Leon. We actually had Claire last night, so it's going to be awesome to see Leon's side of the story for Resident Evil 2. And then later on tonight, we're going to have the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. We also have some bid wars and some incentive challenges that can be met at this point. So you can definitely check those out on our donation page as you go to donate. And I did want to go ahead and mention something very important. I know this is last minute, but since we hit that milestone at $350 to get us up to $4,000 total raised for charity since we started in November 2016, this is going to be really cool for you. If we hit $500 by the end of the marathon today, so this will be 1 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday, I will give everyone that donated $30 or more a chance to win a Twitch hoodie. So every year with St. Jude, if you donate $500 or more, if you raise that much, you get a Twitch hoodie. This year, I am very fortunate to be blessed with the community that I have personally, with the marathon, the staff, the runners, everyone. And I wanted to extend that offer to you all. That could be here in the store with Open World Gaming, could be online. If you donate $30 or more, you are entered to win a Twitch hoodie Monday night. I will be posting that on our Twitter as well and Facebook to let people know. I know it's brand new. I didn't want to say anything until we got close to that mark, but we are getting pretty close to that now. Also did want to go ahead and let you all know that at $400 we'll be raising money for Barney's Hide and Seek Any Percent No Controller with Count Gooby, so that's going to be at $400. Alright, so we're going to take a quick intermission here, and we'll be ready to go with some Hello Kitty in just a few moments, so stay tuned.